Three, two, one. Welcome back to Motivation Monday. I am your host, Zach. I am the Chief Innovation Officer for Motivate Me the Movement, but you knew that already. However, you might not know this guy, and if you don't, you should. This is one of my best friends. His name is James Curtis Pouncey. James, how you doing?
Junior.
Man? He goes by JC, and he's a junior.
But I'm doing great today, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Glad you could be on the show today.
I'm glad I could be here.
So, last week was our Thanksgiving episode, and we talked about things that we were thankful for. Now, usually when we have guests on the show, I like to ask them what motivates them. So, I'm going to ask you the question now. What motivates JC Pouncey?
Every single day, I wake up with a chip on my shoulder because I know I have a great family that I have to attend to. I don't have kids of my own, but I do have siblings that need me once father's gone. I have family that needs me every day for emotional, physical, spiritual support. Another thing that motivates me every day is God, of course. God is my guiding light, and I use His word as motivation. James 2:22, for a man's faith is only perfected by his works. Without his works, his faith means nothing. And I kind of use that as my guideline every single day, because you could say you believe all you want, but do your actions add up? Do your actions add up and prove that you believe?
Beautiful. That was awesome. It's very insightful. I'm glad you spoke from the heart. Now, I've known JC since I was 5 years old. We've been through all kinds of shenanigans together. He's seen me at my most immature, and I've seen him at his most immature. And
still most immature.
We're still immature kids when we get together. You know, as much as we grow up, when we get together, it's still that same atmosphere as when we were kids. And one of the things I cherish most about JC is that the fact he's become so much like a brother to me. It's not even funny. You know, I always joke about, you know, he's an honorary Amato, and I'm sure he considers me an honorary Pouncey. And
says it in my book.
You know, blood couldn't make us any closer. You know, this right here don't matter. You know, we have gone through a lot of things together. We've gone through a lot of hard times together. We've gone through so many fun and growing things together. Growing process has been always something that we did together. And one of the reasons why I even started playing basketball just for fun was I used to watch him. I used to come by on my bicycle when I was young, and I'd see him playing out in the front yard. And I would stop and I would try to play a game with him. And of course he'd bully me around because that's just who JC was.
Come on.
He was so good at it. So, but I cherish my friendship with him, whether it was playing basketball, like I said, whether it was just staying up late and watching stupid movies, Step Brothers especially, or we were playing Pokemon day in and day out. We had every single game. And whenever I get stuck in the game, he'd have to come beat it for me.
I beat him at that too.
Because he was a Pokemon master, so I had to, you know, give the sticks over to him so he could show me how it was done. But that's beside the point anyway. So it's cool that, you know, we've gone through all this stuff together. It's been an amazing journey through all these years. It's been over 16 years since I've been friends with JC. And I tell you what, man, he's an amazing individual. And besides that, he's also a very talented author. And you've written a book.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your book?
Well, my book, it's called The Desire to Love. And basically, this book was all inspired spiritually. The book's called The Desire to Love because it is composed of a few poems in this book I had initially written to females that I was obviously attracted to. And the desire to love them at the time, in my mind, that was it, the desire to love them. And as time goes on, I don't communicate with these women anymore, and I get more in depth into my writing. I get more in depth into what I actually meant at the time when I was writing it, and I found out that these poems that are in this book, every single one of them was directed to either deeper rooted aspect of my consciousness or my higher self, I'd like to say, or God. And I feel like when you guys read this book, if you ever do read this book, you'll see it too. You'll see the same. You'll see the same light. You'll see the same spiritually uplifting feeling. You won't really necessarily look at it as a romantic type of love, but more of forging a love for yourself.
And as he said, if you have not read this book, you need to read this book. I feel honored that he dedicated a little bit of a page to me. He used my family as a little bit of an inspiration. He used me in there, and I felt so honored to be a part of that. It means so much to me that I get to be a little piece of what he's put together. And I can tell you from experience that he put his all into this book. He has put his heart and soul into it, and he is so talented. I remember before this book was even put together, it was just poems on a piece of paper, and now it's a published book. And you can find it where, JC?
Find it on Amazon for $12.99, or you can contact me for a little more higher price, $20. But when you contact me, it's signed, and there's a nice little message I write on the back for you, personalized message. Also, before I just want to give you a little message, and it's the power of finishing projects. Not something that your teacher assigned you, not something your mom or dad tells you to do, not some chore, not something you have to do around the house, but the power of finishing a creative project. And let me tell you, me finishing this book has opened so many doors. Me finishing this book has put money in my pocket. That's the least important out of them all, but me publishing this book has given me a platform to perform in front of people, and it's given me a foundation for me to spread my word and what I believe in. And what I believe in is unity and love, and this is the perfect way. Finishing a project is literally the perfect way for you to be able to voice your opinion, because it's not you reaching here or you reaching there and you're trying to do this presentation that doesn't really have anything except for facts. You have your heart when you finish a project, and it's all right there. You always have something to go back to when you're presenting it.
That's so important. That's amazing. Well, that about wraps up for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. JC, as always, it's always a pleasure seeing you, my man. He's my brother, and I love him to death. So, like I said, if you have not yet gotten this, please get it. The Desire to Love by James Curtis Pouncey Jr.
Thank you.
Also, December 6th?
4th.
Excuse me.
December 4th.
December 4th. Go ahead and tell them about December 4th.
December 4th is my first self-orchestrated presentation for this book. And basically what it is it's going to be a spoken word event, and I'm intertwining some of my poetry from this book, and I'm intertwining real life issues that we're facing here in Cocoa Beach. And I'm trying to build an army of people that love and that are passionate about living and doing better. I'm trying to build an army within the community to make change. And that's when it all starts.
Beautiful, beautiful. A man of love, a man of passion, a man of God. James Curtis Pouncey Jr. I'm Zach Amato. I am signing off for this episode. We'll see you next week. Peace.